welcome to the Filter Free Podcast. I am your host, TJ Stevens.
Problematic.
Out of my left earbud.
Getting off to a banging start here.
Joining me, as always,
Step Hens.
Dollar Bill Dave.
I touched myself.
I just need to clip that. Just Dave leaning for I touched myself.
And Timmy C.
Goo, goo, goo.
Dave's is awesome, and he got a new hat, and it's hilarious. Are you drunk, yes or no? And it's marked on the right-hand side for both.
Time limit drawers get my panties wet. I love it.
We've covered this butt wipe on a few different occasions.
Butt wipe?
You don't call people butt wipe anymore?
No. I'm not 7. Good news is I've limited the producer's amount to screw us over this, so we're actually going to get to sing along with the songs now. You are welcome.
You gotta fight for your right to party!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to 2023's first episode of Footballaz.
Getting paid with Tim and Dave.
Tim and Dave.
We found Dave. Holy shit, where you been?
Oh my God, my house is a complete disaster. The movers came today. They fucked up half of everything I own.
You don't need TVs and desks and whatever.
This desk, it's all shit. Everything's just falling apart. We got to get new desks, new TVs.
That sounds like the table they had for Tua Tagovailoa when he was responding to the criticism. He kept hitting the table and it sounded hollow.
So, we are at a dead week for the NFL. The preseason is over.
I got one NFL game pick, baby.
Well, but that's fine. But we're at a dead week. I'm not going any NFL. I picked 5 college games for week 1. Week 0 was last weekend. All the games were.
Who'd have thunk it?
No ranked games.
Notre Dame beating Navy.
Yeah, shocker. Notre Dame started out with a barn burner. So we're going to get started. 5 games from Dave. Timmy's going to give an NFL wrap-up. He's obviously going to pick the Bengals to win the Super Bowl because he's an idiot.
Am I?
And we're going to go from there. So game number 1, this Thursday night, 2 days from now at 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. real time.
Correct.
One of the top games of the weekend, the Florida Gators on the road playing the Utah Utes.
The 2 Utes. I'm sorry, did you say
Both Utes? Both Utes. The line for this game is Utah minus 6.5. The over-under is 44.5. And the money line is Utah minus 250 and Florida plus 205.
I know what you're taking.
Last year, Florida upset Utah and beat them in the swamp, but still had a down year. Florida Gators quarterback Anthony Richardson has now left, and he is the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts in the National Football League. I am picking number 14, Utah, minus 6.5. I think they win by 10 or more against the Florida Gators because of all reports I've heard, Florida has a very trash offensive line, and their quarterback is a complete bum who couldn't start in Wisconsin, and he's now going to be playing in the SEC. So we'll see how that goes. I think Utah wins somewhere around 27-10. 27-14. We'll see. We'll see how the Gators defense is this year. But I'm taking Utah minus 6.5, and I might tease that up a little bit to about 8.
I think I would go with the over on that. 44 is a low number, especially for the beginning of the season when everyone's healthy. And honestly, if Florida has a trash offensive line, like you say, Utah could put up 44 with their offense and their defense.
We'll see. We'll see. First game of the year. I usually like to stick with the under on a lot of the first games. And we'll get to some more of the spreads that we're going to go over. You know, and a lot of stuff, college football is different nowadays with the transfer rules. But I am going to take Utah -6.5. Like I said, I'm going to tease it up to -8 when I get to where I'm going, and I can actually bet in Tennessee.
I was going to say, you're not going to do that from there. By the way, to all my Kentucky brethren, I salute you. September 7th, we go live. It's odd that they would pick that date, September 7th, the date of the very first NFL game of the season.
Yep.
Well, what I'm going to do for my NFL preview is I'm going to pick 2 divisions each time, and then I'm going to pick the last game or the first game, I guess. And I have a couple little bonus bets here we'll throw at you. The first division we're going to cover is the NFC West, which consists of the Niners, the Seahawks, the Rams, and the Cardinals. Cardinals and Rams no chance at all.
No, the Rams have fallen apart.
Is Brock Purdy for real? I don't know. I think there's a chance he is. Is Geno Smith for real? Last year would say yes. Everything he had put on tape up to that point would say no. But man, San Francisco is so loaded with weapons. There is no way they don't win this division. Right now, you can buy it at -190 for them to win the division. I would go heavy on that because I don't think Seattle's going to catch them. And I can tell you right now, there's no way the Rams or the Cardinals will catch them.
No, the Cardinals are going to be bad.
They're going to be bad. I don't know how bad.
When's Kyler Murray coming back?
They're looking at like week 5.
Well, they'll be 0-5 to start for sure.
Colt McCoy. I don't know what they were doing there. They must be going for their tanking, is all I can say.
All right. Well,
I got 2 I got to do. My next division is going to be the NFC South, where you have the New Orleans Saints, the Atlanta Falcons, the Carolina Panthers, and Dave's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who will not be making the playoffs this year. It's not going to happen. Surprised that the Falcons are where they are considering their quarterback situation. University of Cincinnati quarterback Desmond Ridder is not a franchise quarterback. I don't know what they're doing there. The Panthers, I think they're still early in a rebuild. I don't think Bryce Young is going to get them there. So, oddly enough, by default, I think the Saints are going to win this division. This could be one of those years where it's a below 500 division.
Yeah, it's Saints at 8-9 make the playoffs.
I legit think that's how it's going to shake out because I don't look at anyone in this division and go, oh, they're good. I guess Tampa Bay's even got a shot at it.
They do. Tampa Bay's defense scares me.
Jansen going down.
And Jensen,
he may be done.
He may be done, and their offensive line is going to be just horrendous. I see Baker Mayfield running for his life a lot.
Good news is he's used to that. So,
yeah. All right. Well, college game number 2 this week on Saturday morning. ESPN College Game Day will be in Charlotte, North Carolina, for the matchup between the North Carolina Tar Heels and the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Take a shirt off, twist it around your head like a helicopter.
North Carolina Tar Heels are favored -2.5. They have not fared very well against the Gamecocks in these season opening games in previous years. Over under 64.5. North Carolina money line -135. South Carolina +114. South Carolina lost one of their biggest weapons to the Florida State Seminoles and tight end Jaheim Bell. Dude is just got NFL written all over him. However, North Carolina puts out like William St. Mary's School for the Blind on defense every year. I think North Carolina wins this game, but I am going to take the over. Over 64.5.
It's a big number.
North Carolina, look at the score from North Carolina and Appalachian State last year. North Carolina beat them like 54-48 in like week 2, week 3, something like that. And I see a very high-scoring game here. North Carolina winning something like 40-30, 40-35, something like that. Quarterback Drake May is a stud, a Heisman frontrunner, and will be a talent in the NFL, barring any injuries. And North Carolina has an offense, and they can score and score a lot of points in a very short time. The only thing that scares me is the new rule in college football where the clock does not stop after first downs.
Oh, I hadn't heard that.
But I am going for it. I'm going to take the over 64.5 North Carolina Tar Heels versus the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Now, is there like a time in the game where it starts stopping on first downs? Like
No, it's like
last
NFL
2 minutes
now.
of a half?
Don't think so.
Do they have a 2-minute warning?
No.
Interesting.
Maybe
right,
the
well-
last 2 minutes of the half.
The next division for me is probably the most interesting division in football, I think. Doesn't mean it's the best, but I think it's the most interesting. The NFC North with Detroit, Minnesota, Chicago, and the Packers. Favorite right now is Detroit at plus 140. The Packers are the least favorite at plus 400. Don't put any money on that. Can't see Jordan Love being the real deal. There's no way Green Bay hits on 3 straight quarterbacks. It doesn't happen that way. I like the Lions. I like what they're doing. I like Dan Campbell. I like their coach. Watch out for the Bears, though. The Vikings are the Vikings. They're going to win 9 games probably. They're one of those middling teams like a Seattle that's always somewhere up near the top, but never that good. I would put my money on the Lions with my head, but my heart says take the Bears, and I know that pleases step-ins to no end. I think Justin Fields is the real deal. I think they've put a lot around him in this offseason.
They have.
If you're going to take a flyer, bet the Bears to win that division at plus 380. It's good value, if nothing else.
Yeah, it's just money. You can make more.
Right? Go to work again.
So, real quick, the running clock. According to the new rule, the clock will continue to run after an offense gains a first down, except inside 2 minutes of a half.
Okay.
So,
that's a good deal.
Under the old rule, the game clock stopped when a team gained a first down, and the clock restarted when the offense was awarded the first down. So that will only happen 2 minutes to go in the second half, or in the second quarter and the fourth quarter.
Okay, I like that. All right, so
I like college being different than the NFL. It needs to be different. It needs to stay different. Stop trying to speed up the game. You want to speed up the game? Stop having 9 million commercial breaks. We scored touchdown, kick an extra point, commercial. Come back, kickoff, commercial. Stop doing those commercials, and guess what? Your game will speed up, asshole.
It's about making money. That's how they make money. Let's close out the NFC with the NFC East. This is also quite a fun division. You got the Eagles as the favorite Super Bowl last year. You got the Cowboys, always overrated. The Giants and the Commanders. Commanders are not winning this division. Don't even think about that. I don't see anyone unseating the Eagles. I think the Giants quarterback situation is very problematic. I don't think Daniel Jones is worth what they paid him. The Cowboys are the Cowboys. What was Jerry Jones doing trading for Trey Lance? What are you doing? It's obvious he's a trash bag, and all you did was create controversy for your team.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles, run away with this one, minus 135.
All right, game 3 for me this week. Sunday Night Football. This is the game of the week with the only 2 ranked teams playing. Number 5, LSU, travels to Orlando, Florida, where they will face the number 8 Florida State Seminoles.
Why are they playing in Atlanta or in Orlando?
In Orlando. They played last year in New Orleans. They play this year in Orlando.
Money.
LSU favored minus 2.5. The over-under 56.5 money line. LSU minus 142, Florida State plus 120. Last year, Florida State eked out the victory 24-23 over LSU in New Orleans. That gives you a total of 47 points. Never mind, Florida State fumbled a would-be touchdown with a minute to go up by 14 and missed 1 extra point, and 2 field goals.
Damn.
I'm taking the over on this game. Both of these teams are supposed to have high-powered offenses. Supposedly, Florida State's defense is supposed to be much improved over last year, but that defense last year was a god-awful. And I don't trust it yet. So I think that this game is going to hit somewhere around 60 or 65 points, 35-30, something like that. I'm taking the over 56.5. Florida State and LSU.
I think that's a safe bet because you have that Brian Kelly offense now in LSU. It's not your dad's LSU team that is going to win 9-6.
No.
They're going to put points on the board, and Florida State's offense, I believe, is going to be pretty good this year.
Yeah, they're going to have one of the best offenses in the country if everybody stays healthy.
All right, let's head to the big brother of the NFC with AFC, and we'll start in the West, AFC West. Your Super Bowl champion trash bags, the Kansas City Chiefs, are favored to win it. The Chargers, the Broncos, and the Raiders are way behind them. Chargers are second, Broncos are third as far as odds go. Eventually, Travis Kelce's got to get old, right?
Keep an eye out on the Broncos.
I think the Broncos are going to be markedly better.
Well, let's see what happens with Russell Wilson this year. I think if he starts slow and doesn't do well, I look for the Broncos to make a trade for a quarterback from New Orleans, Jameis Winston.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If he's not throwing enough interceptions, they're going to trade for Jameis Winston?
Jameis Winston is now the second string behind Derek Carr.
Okay.
Derek Carr left the Raiders and is now the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. Jameis Winston had a very good preseason. His old coach, Sean Payton, who is a big Jameis believer, I could see Jameis going to Denver if Russell Wilson has problems. Mark my words.
Well, that tells us nothing about whether they're going to win the division.
Well, they're not going to win. They're not going to win the division.
I think if you're looking for the value bet, I might go with the Chargers here. They're plus 290.
Yeah, I mean, if you're, everybody expects the Kansas City Chiefs to run it back. If you're looking for a value bet, like you said, plus 290, the Chargers are there.
Yeah,
they got a team. They made the playoffs last year.
And they were going to win a playoff game until halftime happened last year. And speaking of that playoff game, let's talk about the team that unseated them. The AFC South, the Jags are favored, and ain't nobody going to challenge them. Titans, Colts, Texans. Wow, what a cakewalk to the playoffs for Jacksonville. No value in that minus 155 for the Jags. There's no way they don't win that division.
Yeah, unless I would
Trevor Lawrence breaks his back or something.
I would liken that division to the NFC South, except for I think the Jags are going to be a decent team. NFC South has nobody.
Standout team. The Jags might win 14 games simply because they're playing in that division.
Well, they're going to go 6-0 in the division.
Yeah, they got 6 wins on the schedule just from that.
Already. All right, my last game of the week is a throwaway game. New Mexico at number 23, Texas A&M. Texas A&M is favored minus 38 with the over-under being 49 points.
Texas A&M got a good defense?
Texas A&M was the most overrated hot garbage team of the year last year.
They spent the most in NIL, though.
I think Jimbo Fisher is in over his head. He should have never left Florida State, but I, for one, am glad he did. Now, with the arrival of head coach Mike Norvell with the Seminoles, minus 38, man, that's a big number.
Huge number, and especially when the over-under's 49.
I think I'd like New Mexico plus 38. I might make a little bet on this just to see. Texas A&M, they were bad on offense last year. Bad. Let's see if they can bounce back. Let's see what they have. I'm going to throw some money on New Mexico plus 38, just see what happens.
I don't even know what I would bet. I'd probably just stay away from that game, honestly. All right.
$10. Let's do it.
Let's go to the AFC least. Not really. It's a pretty good division. Your favorite in that division are the Buffalo Bills, followed by the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Patriots. Patriots ain't winning this division. Hate to tell you. They're the only team in that division without a quarterback.
Nope.
If Tua stays healthy, I could see the Dolphins winning this division.
That's another team I could see making a play for Jameis Winston because Tua came in fat.
Tua is not. Have you seen him? He is not fat.
He's got a history of head injuries. He has gained a lot of weight in the offseason.
He's put on muscle to roll. Instead of bouncing his head off the turf, maybe he's hoping his ass will hit it. I think your value bet here is the Jets, though. Aaron Rodgers, proven commodity. The Jets almost made the playoffs last year with Zach Wilson as their quarterback.
The Jets scare me because their offensive line is really bad. So we'll see. But, I mean, everybody's got to think the Jets, everybody's going to be watching them. The national spotlight's going to be on them with Aaron Rodgers leaving Green Bay and now being in New York.
Really good.
Their defense is good, but their offensive line is horrible. Might be one of the worst in football. But with the addition of Dalvin Cook, that's going to open things up because Dalvin Cook can catch passes, and we all know Aaron Rodgers likes to throw to his running backs. And that offense is going to be scary.
Even though Aaron Rodgers is older, he's still pretty mobile.
Yeah.
All right, and the last division, the AFC North, the favorite Cincinnati Bengals, which is odd because they're still at plus 140. Skip to that. That's your value bet. You have the Ravens at plus 235, the Browns at plus 400, and the Steelers at plus 500. Steelers ain't making or not winning this division. I could see an area where the Browns or the Ravens might jump up to catch the Bengals if they get lucky and there's a few injuries. But I'd say the Bengals are the favorite. If you're looking for value, I'd pick the Browns at plus 400. Just because crazy stuff happens, but usually not for the Browns. So
gross.
Yeah, I don't like making that pick, but it's a good value at plus 400. I mean, so first game of the season. Hold on, give me just a second to get to it. Son of a. It'll be the Kansas City Chiefs with the Detroit Lions visiting them for the opening game. The Lions are a 6.5 point dog in Kansas City, over under 54. You'd take the over?
I will take the over on that.
I'm going to take the Lions plus 6.5. I like what Dan Campbell's doing there. I think he's got a scrappy team that's going to keep it close. Don't think they'll win, but I think 6.5 is a pretty big number. And historically, the last few seasons, the bigger the number with the Chiefs, the less often they cover. So I would take that as my pick for week. I guess that's the week 0 football game because
that's the Sunday night or the Thursday night game, week 1.
If you're looking for a couple bets, just win totals, I would go Arizona over 3.5 because I think they're going to win more than that. Kyler Murray will be back week 5. He'll squeak some out. That division ain't great. The Ravens are at 10.5. I would go under 10.5 because I simply think the AFC North is going to beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough division.
And I would go Bears over 7.5. I think the Bears are going to win 9-10 games this year.
We'll see.
Any closing thoughts, Dave? Other than we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I like the Bears in that division. I think Minnesota pissed away everything. Now they're trying to get Justin Jefferson to a long-term deal.
Should probably get a quarterback first.
Yeah. Week 1, college football. I am stoked. I love football. I live for college football, being from the South. Now back in the South in Alabama. Let's
now
do
you
this.
have no pro teams to root for.
Florida or Tampa Bay Buccaneers, how about?
Whatever.
They're just not close.
You should be a Titans fan now.
Ew. I think a lot of people here are Atlanta Falcons fans.
Yeah, I get that.
So there you have it, guys. Week 1, footballers getting paid with Tim and Dave. You heard it here. Go make you some money. Go lose you some money. Whatever. Have fun doing it. Gamble responsibly.
Goodbye, guys.